Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and since it's Women's History Month, I'm here today to talk to you about Power Rangers SPD Catastrophe. This is a cool episode. I was jumping for joy when I saw this episode. Why? Because we got an 8th Ranger. We've never had an 8th Ranger before. Heck, we've never even had 7 at the most. And so this was a really huge deal back in the day before things like Dino Charge came around and you had like 13 something Rangers and stuff. But this was like huge back then. And then later on we will get another Ranger towards the very end of the season. Now the reason for this, and the thing that really sucks about the whole Cat Ranger thing, which is weird, they call her the Cat Ranger, but hey, whatever. Because they spell it with a K instead of a C, which is kind of weird. But that's after the character of Cat Max and Mance and everything. And Cat is played by Michelle Longstone, I think. I think that's what it says. My handwriting kind of messed up. But anyway, Michelle is really cool. She was in Jungle Fury and stuff like that, and I really like her acting. She looks great as Cat Max. I just love I don't know if that's a wig or her real hair, but I like it. I like it a lot. And I've seen her in other stuff like Legend of the Seeker, so maybe that is a wig and everything. But basically, she's an alien cat who is the tech person at SPD. And she's extremely good at it. And so in this episode, she got to be the Cat Ranger, which is technically in the Sentai counterpart, I think a swan, I believe. So I guess they must have thought, oh, that must be a cat, so she must be a cat. But oh no, that's a swan or whatever, or something like that, you know. And so, but the thing that really sucks about this episode is this is the only, and I do mean the only time we get to see her and stuff. She has a disposable morpher, like an hour morpher, and it only lasts for an hour, and after that, you can't use it no more. And it's like, what? That sucks. Like, there's no way to recharge it or nothing like that, and it doesn't last longer than that. Now, one of the reasons probably for this, and I don't know nothing about the Sentai counterpart, but one of the reasons probably about this is because Disney just didn't want to fork over no more money. And because we all know the story of the Omega Ranger and why Sam can't demorph until the very last episode. And that's because Disney didn't even know there was a 7th Ranger in the Omega Ranger. And because of that, they didn't want to pay for an actor. So the dude had to stay morphed the entire time, and they had to pay like a voice actor. And that was really crummy. Basically, Disney started to act like little butt heads. They didn't get much out of their investment when they bought it from Saban. And so, like, Ninja Storm apparently had low ratings. I didn't know that, but Ninja Storm was cool. So then they brought in Jason, as he says, to save the company and everything with Dino Thunder. And then, you know, after a while, you started to see the cracks in like the shows because they started like putting less production value in certain things. But in SPD, the man who made that show, boy, he went beyond production value and stuff. He had to create a new Doggy Kruger suit and everything. The headquarters looks amazing. The Galaxy Command Center, that's like, you know, on another planet, that building looked amazing in the inside. Basically, they just found like a building and used the stuff and redecorated, put like logos here and there. But it looks so cool. This is what I've been talking about with this Hasbro crap. Like, I'm so tired of reusing sets and just redressing them and stuff like the command centers and stuff like that. And all these bright, colorful locations. This is how you make a Power Ranger series in SPD. You put the money for it to build things and make things your own and really make it look authentic and everything. And Dino Fury, like, it just looks like your normal, typical Power Ranger setting from back in, like, you know, Mighty Morphin days. You have, like, this big, colorful building where a lot of people gather and stuff. You have a command center, and their command center here don't look all as fancy as, like, you know, the other ones and stuff. And it's like you have to put the money in to make a good product. And SPD was a great product and everything. And so Kat, she is contemplating leaving SPD because she has a higher up position at Galaxy Command by Birdie and stuff like that. And so it's like, she doesn't want to leave SPD. That's where she's been working at for the longest time. She has grown to make a lot of friends there. But then when the SPD Rangers are talking about it, um they don't want her to leave either, and they're pretty mad, especially Boom. But they tell her, we have to think what's best for her and not getting in her way. So they start doing everything on their own to where she feels like they don't need her, and so she makes her decision and she leaves. When she does get the Galaxy Command, she's not happy that she's gonna get an assistant and she can't build stuff no more. She's gonna have a team of people doing stuff like that, and this is something she just didn't really consider. It reminds me of the whole Damon situation when he had that higher up position and he didn't want to because he wanted to get his hands dirty. And what's really interesting is that people rag on Lightspeed Rescue because it was man-made Power Ranger tech. But think about it like this. SPD was man-made tech and everything, so why don't people crap on that? And a lot of other Power Ranger seasons are man-made tech like RPM and stuff, even in space. So I don't know why people, even Turbo was man-made tech. So I don't know why people always get upset about the whole Lightspeed Rescue thing. And so, like, another thing I wanted to point out that Mora is not in this episode. She was in the Dogs episode, and I forgot to mention that. Anyway, Broodwing's here, and like, he has a former friend of Cat Max. And I think his name is Booney or something like that. It's been a good while. Mooney or something like that. And so he's basically using his smarts for like evil and helping out the bad guys. And so he's able to control like those evil Megazord things from like a far away like location and stuff like that. And the Rangers are having a hard time trying to stop like the Megazords and all this other stuff. So anyways, they have to find out like the Megazord has like some type of power core and it's gonna overheat, and so Cat Max gets alerted of this and she has to stop it. Because Boom, I think, lets her know or something like that. So she wants to head back and save the day, and her superior gives her a disposable morpher. When she heads there, she gets the morph, and I love how they actually created her morph sequence. They didn't have to. They could have went the cheap route and had her morph in real time, but they had her actually morph. And she's the Cat Ranger. And what color is she? I have no idea. I don't know if she's a white ranger or an orange ranger. Because Omega is technically the white ranger, but he's from the future of all things. Here, her costume, the arm pieces and the legs are orange and everything else is white. And so it's kind of like, what exactly is she exactly? Because you see more orange, but then at times you see more white. In the comic books, they have her as a white ranger. But you know what? Since Omega is white, let's just make her the orange ranger. So our very first official orange ranger, in my head canon at least. And she is a whooping on the bad guys. And she is amazing. But before all that, she had a civilian fight. And that's the thing that bugs me. The civilian fight was great, but she's a tech person. Like, when did she learn how to fight? You know what I'm saying? I don't like when I see that. I didn't like it in the Flash with the Cisco Ramon character. I don't like it here. But when she morphed, I'm okay with it because now she's linked to the morphing grid and she knows how to fight. And so she is a whooping on them. And Omega and Shadow Ranger help out towards the end. And it's cool to see a dog and a Cat Ranger together and stuff. So she has to stop like the power core from exploding, and she does in the nick of time. And then she demorphs, and the Rangers who get to use their SWAT mode in this episode. I love the SWAT mode. And it does make you wonder whenever they're gonna Hasbro's gonna start making those for the Lightning collection. And so like, but sadly, like I said before, her morpher is literally only just that. of a disposable morpher, which is just the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But this was such a cool episode because we got to get a new ranger. Cat is the one who gets to be him of all people, and people love Cat Max and everything. Happy Women's History Month, everybody. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.